It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning, and we're talking success.
Good morning, Soul Family. It's so good to be here with you. My name's Greg Halliday. If you're listening for the first time or if you're listening to the recording, we've got some great things to share. And as always, we want to spend a little bit of time praising all the great work that so many of you are doing. But before we get to some of our recognition, let's just look at the chat board. If you're new to Monday morning, you got to chat. That's kind of where we all get a chance to be together. So I can see Terry and Cindy and Osvaldo. Looks like it's pretty hot out there. Dolores says it's sunny, but it could be rainy soon because they're in the rainy season. Yeah, we're hearing a lot about the rain. And by the way, thoughts and prayers out to Texas. As always, they've had to deal with a lot of flash flooding, and we're aware of you. We're here, and we wish you the best. Stay safe, everybody in Texas. Enchanted Pantry, good morning to you, and Lisa and Caridad from South Florida. Chris, I don't know if he's on the road or if he's home. He's usually driving, but good morning, Chris. And it looks like Alvaro from North Carolina. Eric from 108 degrees. It's pretty hot in Utah right now. We're like 90 to 100 and something, depending on where you live in the state. And it looks like we're pretty much that everywhere. Lillian's got everybody beat. It's 111. Okay, I can't remember where you are, Lillian. You got to tell us. 111, where she is. I hope you can get indoors a little bit. But anyway, we love seeing you. Welcome to Monday morning, everybody. It's sure great to be here with you and to start the week with Soul. It's just something that fills us with a lot of inspiration, seeing what you do. And we're going to get right to that. We're going to look at our success keys this morning. And I get the good fortune of celebrating the Soul Prime success keys that are earned this week. These are people who have achieved Prime, or they've helped somebody else achieve Prime, and they've done it at different levels. The first success key is called Primed Up. And we're going to start by recognizing those who, in the month of June, primed up their business. I love it because that means that each one of the people that went into this recognition for them is starting their soul journey, is getting to see what a difference adaptogen catalyzed nutrition can make in their lives. That's why we're here at Soul. So let's honor our primed up winners for June, starting with Alvaro and Nubia Medina. Alvaro from North Carolina. It's great to see, as always, most months, Alvaro and Nubia are on. Our recognition is primed up. So congrats, Alvaro and Nubia. Elizabeth Fernandez, congratulations, you're primed up in June. And Genoveva Valencia, who has the most wonderful smile. I know I always say that. She's primed up in June. Maye Flores, I call Maye the magnificent one. But I say it in Spanish, she speaks Spanish. No surprise that Maye's there. Virginia Viguera and Rene Garcia, congratulations, you're primed up in June. Anita Carpenter, I think it wouldn't be a primed success key without Anita in there. Congrats once again, Anita. Chris DeVilliers, yes, very, very often Chris is on here as well. She's always helping people. Congrats, Chris. Jesus Anavet Conde. Never mind that Jesus and Annabeth are working on their third 100K account at Soul, but they're still here sharing Soul with new people who haven't started their journey yet. Congrats to Jesus. Yamilka Perez. Congratulations, Yamilka. You're primed up. Ann Cooper. We see you, Ann. Congrats for being primed up and helping people start their journey with Soul. Yadiel Diaz. Yadiel's another one I love seeing here every month. Congrats, Yadiel. Estrellita Hernandez. By the way, Estrellita and her mentor, Anacano, are having a big event in Texas together with several other leaders. I believe Debbie's going to be there. That'll be in the Arlington area of Texas. So best of luck to you. I know that you've put a lot of work into it. You're going to have a great success there. And you're priming up for that event in just the perfect way, Estrellita. congrats on being primed up in June. Johnny Guerrero, congratulations to Johnny. Johnny's on here a lot too, always sharing with new people. Corinne Law, congratulations, you're primed up in June. We got to see Corinne down here in the office because her kids ballroom dance and they're kind of dancers extraordinaire. So she's bringing them down to various contests or trainings or workshops or things. And she'll stop by the office often when she does that. So we love seeing Corinne every time she comes. And last time she brought these apple pie caramel apples that she makes at home. By the way, they're awesome. You just need to drink a cinnamate afterwards. But and you do that, you're okay. All right. So now we got Marisol Montesano. She's primed up. Congrats to Marisol. Quietly bringing people onto a path of health. You don't hear from Marisol a lot, but she speaks loudly with what she does in helping people, and she has done this for many years. So admire her, and congratulations to her being primed up. Elisa Endrick, who works with her mother, they've got a nice clinic in Salt Lake in Murray area, and they're always doing the same thing, putting people on the pathway to changing their health and their life. So no surprise, Elisa's primed up in June. Maria Juana Magana Mendoza, congratulations to you, Maria, for being primed up this month. And Silvia Solorzano, congratulations, Silvia. We're going to see more from her in this recognition this morning. And then Maria Balderas, I think we're probably getting close here. Congratulations for being primed. Oh, and I can't forget Sue Friesen. And by the way, I saw you chat in, Sue. Keep chatting in, everybody, because by the way, you know, when you chat in, that makes you eligible for our drawing. We're going to do a drawing this morning. I'm not going to forget. In fact, I'm going to tell you about it right now. We'll pause our success key for a second. Here's what we're going to give away. If you haven't seen it, this wonderful soul shaker, it's got the special medicine ball inside that makes sure that your soul drink is mixed thoroughly so it doesn't taste like medicine. You're going to get that, okay? So we're going to give that away here at the end. All right, let's jump back into our success keys, and now we're moving to the next step. The next step is called Double Prime, and that success key is available in your first 4 months of your soul journey. So if you're somewhere in those first 4 months and you earn Soul Prime, we double it. And we'll do that every single month for your first 4 months. And then we'll do it again when you hit Soul Leader 7K. So you really have 5 opportunities there in your journey to be double prime. We love doing that. So let's recognize those who were double prime this month of June. Veronica Ramirez. Veronica, congratulations for your double prime achievement. That is fantastic. We love paying you. Adriana Barona, congratulations. Also double prime in June. We have Rocio Garcia. Congratulations to Rocio. And Lily Mari Hidalgo Sanchez, who was also double prime. These are our 4 double prime achievers in June. And now let's move to our next success key, which is Power Prime. Now, Power Prime, it has some similarities with double prime in that you get a larger amount of the special prime bonus. But what's different about Power Prime is it's always available, not just your first 4 months, not just when you hit 7K, but throughout your journey at Soul. And its intent is when you perhaps are organizing a campaign, you're going to do a real push of sharing. Maybe you're going to organize an event together with other Soul leaders, whether that's an online sort of event or virtual, or a campaign or a promotion, or you want to do a live event like Ana Cano and Estrellita and Maria Ramirez and others are doing in Texas this month. The Power Prime was designed to reward that big push and give you just a little bit extra as you're bringing Soul to a lot of additional people and just building your Soul community. So let's recognize those. I think we have 2 this past month who earned Power Prime level. The first is Patricia Al-Hakim, who, by the way, yeah, I know Patricia. She is one hard worker. She sees people and has done it for many years and has recently joined Soul Naturals and loves the Soul approach and is seeing such great results. She and her sister and those on her team that have jumped on board So congratulations and a shout out to Pat Al-Hakim, a wonderful person. And once again, I think this is like her third time hitting the Power Prime level already in her short journey. So she's really kind of all in to setting people onto the pathway for the soul change in their lives. Our second Power Prime winner has also done this multiple times. It's Lydia Ferrantino. Lydia is also one of our tippy top leaders who is working on sort of multiples of a top level account. She's working on her second, and yet Lydia's always there bringing new people, opening their eyes to what they can do with soul. So congrats to Lydia and Pat, who both earned Power Prime in June. We really love that. So, we do get to sort of take a quick look at all the computer generated commissions and give them that final vote of approval. And we see that with the Power Prime levels every month. And we love to pay you for doing that because we know the difference it will make in everybody's lives. So congrats to you too. Now we have one last recognition today that has to do with our Prime achievement, and it's called Prime Mentor. This one is someone who's helped someone they have mentored earn Prime. And that really is the essence of soul. Everything that we get, what we learn, our experience with the products, the health information and training we get from Dr. Allison and from many wonderful leaders, all of this doesn't stay with us. We just pass it on. We give it to all of those who are willing to hear it so that that information remains alive and can be spread to others. And they're able to take the same information we all have and make the decisions in their life to change their own life. That's the whole mentality behind all of what we do at Soul, including the Prime program. So I love Prime Mentors. A special shout out to you for helping people have the same experience that you have. Because to earn the Prime Mentor Success Key, not only does a person that you've mentored have to earn Prime that month, but you yourself have to do your personal Prime. So both things happened. And that they get that wonderful comfort of seeing their mentor doing and continuing to do what's leading to their own success as they're just beginning on their journey. And that's just a powerful, powerful principle. So special congrats to you Prime Mentors, all right? So let's see, who do we have this month? Well, there's Anita Carpenter. Lots of great things going on with that team of hers. And by the way, special thanks, Anita, to you and Annette and Sue. I was up there, I think I mentioned recently, doing some meetings with them in Michigan, and they knew my birthday was coming up and sent me this special birthday card, which I have on my desk, and I loved it. So thank you so much for that. I sure enjoyed the time we had working together as well. But congrats to you, Anita, for being Prime Mentor. I know that is something we're going to see lots more of in your team, because I got to know Annette and Sue a little bit, and also Basheen. And I think there are some wonderful people there that are definitely all in for helping other people start their journey to better wellness in their lives. So congrats. All right, we also have Yadiel Diaz. Yadiel, I love to praise his consistency. And I do see the good, Yadiel, that you're doing. We all do. Thanks for your example, and congrats for being a Prime Mentor this month. That's not the first time you've been there. Lydia Ferrantino, also not even close to the first time. I think, Lydia, most months, if not all of them. I got to go back and look, Lydia, but it might be all of them. She's got at least somebody, usually a few people that she's mentored, earning Prime, and she herself. So congrats for your wonderful example, Prime Mentor Lydia Ferrantino. Jesus and Anavet Conde, ditto Jesus. Love seeing you guys out there doing the same thing and help making sure that other people get that same experience. Congrats on being Prime Mentors in the month of June. Maye La Magnifica Flores, back on the list. Maye, congratulations and well done. And I think we have one more. Yeah, well, we might have more than one. We have Yamilka Perez as well, who's a Prime Mentor this month. Congratulations. Yamilka kind of has boundless energy if you know her. And boy, when she talks, people listen because they know she'll just tell them straight. And she's got a lot of love. So Yamilka, well done. I'm not surprised to see you as a Prime Mentor. And there's our last one, Sylvia Solorzano. Congratulations to Sylvia. In fact, I think Sylvia's Prime, the person who earned Prime under her, is a new person, a new brand specialist who got double Prime. So that's kind of a trifecta, Sylvia. You're a Prime mentor and you help someone else get Prime and you help them do it during their double Prime. Love to see that. So congratulations to all of you. Well done, everybody. And I'm just looking on the chat board. If you were mentioned, if your name was mentioned, go back afterwards, look at the recording and see all the praise. Lots of people are praising you. That's your soul community. Boy, we love to see that. So congratulations once again to all our Prime mentors. Now, this morning, we usually have a special guest. I decided today to take an excerpt from a leadership retreat. This is some training that was done in the last several years. In fact, you got to go back a few years to find this. And it really seemed to ring true today. So I thought, we're going to share this. So this is something, if you've never been to a soul strategic retreat, this is something we do from time to time. Keep your eyes open in the coming months because we have 2 opportunities for leadership training that you don't want to miss. The first one is Soul Ignite coming in October. You don't want to miss that. Lots of great stuff will happen at Soul Ignite. We're going to have some great product training. We'll be introducing a new product. There will be some wonderful science around it that you get to share and help validate what we have experienced. We will announce a special study that people will be able to participate in. And I'm really looking forward to that because that'll be such a game changer. That particular study is going to focus on an area that is really underserved, I believe, in general in the nutrition community. That's going to happen in Ignite. So you don't want to miss Ignite. Come and be part of that. Then after that Ignite experience, we're going to have another special leadership retreat. We have not announced this yet. So the announcement will be forthcoming. But it will be right after the new year, probably late January, early February, right in there sometime, we'll do another strategic retreat. This will be open to leaders who have that desire to move forward in the way that they help people. So it will be an open retreat. What I'm going to share with you this morning is just a little excerpt from one of those retreats we did in the past that I think is really pertinent to today. Now, in order to introduce that to you, I want to show you quick a first video. One thing that you may know about me is I do like to, we live right here by the mountains, so I like to get up and hike in them. My wife Donna loves hiking, so a lot of times we'll go together. And we like to hike Mount Timpanogos. I think I've shared that before. It's been a while. It's a pretty tall mountain. It's just under 12,000 feet. And it has some spectacular scenery. There are 2 major trails that lead up to the top of this mountain. You can come from the south and get to the top, or you can come from the north and get to the top. And they each have different features that we love. There are a number of waterfalls, etc. Well, I'm going to show you a short video I took of Donna. There's a particular waterfall on the Aspen Grove, which is the South Trail coming up to Timp, that we had fun at, so I took this short video. Just gotta walk through it. Okay, I actually love that video because you can see Donna's pretty happy coming through it. What you don't see is the trail actually does not lead behind the waterfall. It leads through the creek. And if you're going to walk through the creek, and some people like to do that, you got to deal with, a pretty good amount of water there and some slippery rocks. And, if you're not really sure-footed, some people go down and you can twist an ankle. You can kind of hurt yourself there. It's a little technical getting through the creek. But if you've been there before, if you have someone who's been there who shares this information with you, they'll tell you, hey, go behind the waterfall. It's a little bit, you got to be a little careful. You can see Donna walking there, but there's no chance you're going to fall down and, hurt yourself. You might get just a little bit of water on you, but it's kind of fun. It's a hot day. It cools you down. Well, in light of that, in that little experience, it made me think about what I'm about to share today. this is a little chart that's going to be like taking you behind the waterfall and help you understand a little bit more if you're interested in being a difference maker in other people's life. You want to help people in some way. You want to be a brand specialist. What does that look like at different levels of involvement? What if I want to be just a little bit involved? I love this. I love the community. I want to share a little. What if I want to be more involved? How do I do that? And am I really going to tackle? Like what is the number of people that I need to be helping if I want to have a certain size of business? And what does that look in sort of like these top rank sizes? We've got a few people on our Soul Success Key recognition this morning that are well into their like multiples of the top rank. What are they doing? What does it look like? What are the communities, the sizes of the communities they're leading? Or how does that exactly work? That to me is a little bit of a behind the waterfall help to help you know what's coming and kind of what it takes to kind of move forward in your journey and enjoy it. You can have that smile on your face like Donna did at the end of her. It was pretty easy for her to get through that waterfall. Wasn't much of an obstacle, was it? So this chart, it's called an income correlation with active participants in your own soul community. You know, there's the overall soul community, and then there's the community you're forming that you're extra close to. And we hope that people have those communities, that tightness in their own communities, and then the openness to participate with the entire soul community. That makes for powerful success. And this chart is meant to show you kind of what you're looking at. So this is 2025. We've gone back, even though this training was done several years ago, we've gone back to look at the income numbers to make sure that they are still on target. And they are indeed. In fact, I'll tell you, so let's look at quickly the ranks here. So you can see Soul Pro 1K, 2K, and 3K. That's that first little quadrant, upper left. And then you see the number of households that a person who is maintaining that rank would typically be helping. If they're not helping a household, if they're helping individuals, that's the next column, and you'll see what the number of individuals they would typically be helping. Now, what we mean by helping is that individual's active. They're ordering some amount of product. It averages out at the company-wide level to a number. And that number is reflected on this chart in the income. So what we've done in the chart is take the averages. And so when you look at the averages, let's take the rank Soul Pro 3K. I would typically be helping as a brand specialist somewhere around 12 households. And what that means is if I've got someone I'm helping who in their household, they're not the only one using it. It might be a couple, it might be two people, it could be several, they could have kids. You could have roommates. It could be an apartment and they've got roommates. But a household is where more than one, we're just simply defining it as more than one person in the household is using the Soul products. And then individuals, well, that's the column to the right. A 3K would typically have around 20 people that would be ordering some amount of Soul products every month. When those two things are the case, and these indeed are the averages of the company, then the income that you see to the right is what you're earning. So a 3K would be earning about $500 a month, just under $500, $475 a month. Now, that is a midpoint, meaning that it's not what they earn right when they first hit 3K. They'll earn a little less when they first hit the rank. But the average of 3Ks, they're somewhere in between 3K in volume, or 3,000 a month in their whole group, and 5K. So they might be 4,000 a month. They might be 3,500. They might be 4,200. Their number might fluctuate around somewhere in between 3,000 and 5,000 a month. This number that you see that is an income, just so you can have a clear understanding of it, is a midpoint of that rank, because that is what you tend to have over time in terms of people and who are leaders at those ranks. So it's not the income right when you first hit it. It could be. It can even be higher than that number if I'm earning double prime or some of the special bonuses at Soul. But that number reflects all the bonuses at Soul at a midpoint level. So that gives you hopefully some guidance and a little bit of a perspective as you set goals. Now you can see as the numbers go down, as we move up in rank to 5K, 7K, 10K, 15K, you can see how many individuals you're affecting. So dropping down to, say, a Soul Leader 15K. Typically an active Soul Leader 15K, by active we mean they are sharing Soul at some interim. It may not be a certain number a month, but they're always sharing something. That's what by active we mean they're sharing Soul with someone new in any given month. Okay, that's a typical active person. And so when that's the case, they're usually around 100 individuals you'll find in their group, or 57 households, and they're making over $2,000 a month. Now, again, that is a midpoint. So that's people between 15,000 and 25. They could be at 18,000. They could be at 21. They could be, bouncing around in that range. That's the income for the entire range of that rank. This can be really helpful because I think it helps people clarify expectations and what they can expect as they achieve a community of a certain size. Then notice that last group, which is the Soul Elite group. Those numbers really, they start to get bigger and bigger. And in fact, at the very top rank there, notice 100K, they're going to have somewhere around 660 individuals in their group. And their income will be starting at about 10,000 a month. Now, we have people making multiples of that now because they're well into those ranks, moving above that. And at Soul, we don't have a limit. So that gives you an idea of what you can expect. Now, this is the reason I wanted to share this with you, and I've got a couple of notes here, and I'm going to refer to them. First of all, remember that the income is a midpoint for the rank. That's the first point. Second, there's a reason that both individuals are listed on this chart and households, because every individual is part of a greater network of close associates. It might be their family, it might be friends, but they have a household. And it is such an important key to be able to show them, all those who you might be helping with Soul, that you care about their household. Usually when there's an open communication, that just happens naturally. And just as you've helped them, you can help their household, and you can involve them in that process, and they learn even more, and they'll care for themselves even better as they help you help their household. It's true, there's a way to do it, meaning it's a comfortable way, but I think that's something where we've got so many wonderful mentors. If you haven't had that conversation with your mentor, maybe reach out to them and say, hey, how do you do that? Where you in a comfortable way talk with individuals they're helping, and you're able to talk about their household, because it makes a huge difference in that it makes the number of groups that you're working with a much more reasonable number. Now so households are an important key to building a Soul community in a way that's manageable in numbers that you can stay in contact with. Those are the first 2 points. Now, the next point that I wanted to highlight from this training that we had years ago is this question: what is my interest? When you look at this chart, ask yourself, what's my interest or my strength? Or here's a third way of asking the same question: what am I most drawn to? Am I the kind of person that enjoys to meet directly with people? And there are a lot of people like this, and lots of people, and large numbers of people do not intimidate me as I go out and reach with them. And there are people who can do this, and they love to do this, and they'll have ways in which they can constantly contact new people. I'll give you an example. Corinne Lott, she was on last week talking about foot baths. And Corinne can easily talk with many people and be comfortable, and they just feel like she loves them from the start, and they're friends, and they're comfortable. Am I that kind of an individual? Am I more of an individual that works with a smaller number of people directly And what I want to do is help find other people like me so that I might work with some people individually. And what I really want to do is find other people who want to do the same. Well, the reason I think that question is important, I wanted to ask that this morning, is it gives you two ways to read this chart. So if you come back and look at this chart, one way is to look at myself going, well, I myself at these various income levels, I need to be working with this number of people, and I need to find ways to efficiently do that. And that's certainly possible. I have seen this throughout my career. I've seen many individuals who can work with large numbers of people, and these numbers on the chart do not even intimidate them because they know it's a process of time, and that number keeps building. And as they get really good at three things, and I would actually say four things, these numbers are possible for them, even though they themselves are principally doing the connecting. First, they connect everybody to the soul community and where the information and live streams, where the fountain of knowledge comes from. So soul develops a lot of content. If I connect people early on, boy, the odds of them really staying consistent with nutrition go up. Secondly, they bring them. So not just connect them, but they bring them to soul participation. That means they do things together with them. Bringing them can mean attending virtual things. And right before it starts, I'm going to text, even though they may have gotten the reminder, I'm going to text them personally as well and say, hey, get on with me. You want to be part of this. Let's do this together. So there's the bringing part, and that's number two. And then the third is they get really good at passing along content. They might have a monthly newsletter or a weekly newsletter or some way in which all the content that flows from soul, they pass it on. They're really good at passing it on. So three things: they connect them, they bring them and do things with them, and then they pass it on. Then I'd say the fourth thing would be major events, major campaigns, where they'll sit down like Anita did with her team recently, like Anna's doing with her team this coming month, and saying, hey, let's do this together. Let's organize this. Here's what we're going to do. It's going to be one day. We're all going to invite people. Here are our goals. We're going to work with the office and get some special offers that we do here. And in the end, this is what we hope to achieve, and we're going to do it together. So why do I bring this up? Well, once I answer these questions, number one, am I the kind of person who loves to work with lots of people myself? And I'm going to get good at these techniques to work with a lot of people myself. Or number two, am I the kind of person that wants to sort of duplicate myself and help find others that do these things, and instead work in lots of small blocks or medium-sized blocks, and not so many all the people directly to me, not so much of that, but more working with a group of us to do the same thing? Well, that changes how I look at the chart. So if we come back to this chart here and I'm saying, all right, well, let's say I want to be a 5K. I just started and I want to be a 5K because that's pretty good. About $800 a month as an average. I might maybe I'll make $800 or $1,000 a month, and that's kind of where I want to be right now as a supplemental income. I can look at that as I need to go get 34 people on the chart who are actively taking their soul nutrition every month. Or I might be looking at about 20 households. And those are my benchmarks for me to have that level of success. That's one way I could look at it. That's if I'm the first person who's not afraid of all the numbers directly to me. But if I'm the second person, I might say, okay, well, I'm going to do about a Soul Pro 1K myself. I want to get about 10, let's say 7 to 10 people that I'm helping, and I'm going to get 3 or 4 other people. And among the people I'm sharing soul with, I'm going to have my eye out for those who also want to share at that level. And together, the 4 of us as a team, we're going to generate that 5K level. And so I'm doing a part of it, but I'm having my team also each do their part. So I've broken it into 5 blocks, the 5K, instead of looking at the block just for me. It's such an interesting proposition to me to think about this chart in those 2 ways, because I will tell you this, both ways can work and be successful. Now you can multiply yourself much, much more greatly as you help other people become leaders as well. But moving well into this chart, as a successful leader, a lot of people can move into that bottom section of Soul Elite, where they themselves are doing so much of that leadership. That's very doable and not as overwhelming as someone might think. What I'm saying is that you have wonderful options here, multiple options for developing that business. And you can do it in one or other of these ways, or sort of a combination of both. And all of that, to me, is fun and can be really exciting. So I thought today was worthwhile to give you this chart. You'll have it in the recording. You can take a picture of it, and it gives you something where you can kind of look at what you've got in your reporting, see where your business lines up and go, okay, well, my income's right here. I kind of get why that is. And I can start thinking of ways that I'm able to add these blocks to my business and know what that looks like and kind of know what I can expect in terms of earnings. Now, as I said, we regularly go in and check these earnings against different people at Soul. And I will tell you, they're right in there. They're right in there with an average. When you're more active and you're doing more things, you'll bump above those numbers. If you're a little less active, but you're still kind of at that rank, you might be a little bit below them, but you'll be right in there. And it's a good guideline for your business. Okay, well, let's take just a little bit of time. I want to look at a couple of chats. And by the way, before I look at some of your comments here, look at this as we looked at our chart today. We don't need to go back to the chart, but as we looked at it today, think of the upcoming events and how I might maximize those to increase the training and sharing and plug people into this knowledge. This is a way to help them know how they can walk behind the waterfall. They don't have to get expectations that aren't met or, stumble and fall quite so much. Look, we all trip a little bit, even even behind the waterfall. Donna was pretty gingerly because you can still kind of navigate your way through and a rock can slide out from under you. You weren't expecting it. It's the same thing in the business. Things happen and they change. But it is nice to know that you can be connected with someone who's going to show you the pathway behind the waterfall to give you the greatest chance for success. Okay, so let's see. We got a couple of comments out here. Eric says it's awesome data. Yeah, it's really useful. Isn't the truth? The truth is pretty powerful. Just sharing what's really happening. I feel like that has so much power, and it does provide awesome data because it gives people a true expectation. Something to refer to. Osvaldo says great information. Cindy. Lydia says please post this chart somewhere. So we'll get Kendall to post it somewhere, Lydia, so we can grab it. Maybe we can post it in Soul Business. I think on the Facebook page we could post that. Lydia's laughing at my sticky notes here. She uses them too. Yeah, my whole desk is full of them. Okay, so Osvaldo said I've screenshotted and I'll use it as a goal setting tool. I love that, Osvaldo. That's what it's for. Goals are so powerful because we can measure them, and there's no bad outcome ever in a goal. No bad outcome. I might surpass it. Great outcome. I might meet it. Good outcome. I might not meet it. Still a good income because I can analyze why I didn't meet it, and I know exactly how far away I was. If I don't have a goal, I don't know. I might have been right next to the goal and I just don't know it. But the goal lets me measure. And measuring to me is actually kind of happiness because there's no mystery, there's no frustration, there's just information. And I can do something with the information. I can make change. I can do whatever I want to do to reach the goals I want. So I love that. Osvaldo, you get the comment of the morning on that. Yeah, use it to make goals. Let's see. What else we got here? Osvaldo says, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you hit the stars. Yeah, I've heard that. I like that. Hugh's, okay, look at Hugh. Hugh's on here. He goes, my July 2025 goal. So he put a goal for this month, and you know what you got? You still got half the month. He says, I'm being a solid Soul Pro 3K. That's his goal. And to keep it stable And then by October, by Ignite, he wants to advance to 5K. Hugh, that's why I showed the chart today, because the chart shows us kind of where we'll be, and we know where we're at, so we know what to do to make the difference. All right. Anybody, anywhere else? Just some other great comments. Very helpful from Sue. Ebony Brown says she has an author event next month. This is great. Yes, Ebony, that's exactly where it's all at. Kimberly says, post it on OneSoul. We can post the chart. Okay. All right, everybody. I've taken my time for the morning. I've loved spending time with you. Let's draw our winner. Okay. And then we'll wrap it up and we'll post the chart. We can post it in OneSoul. We can post it in the business page. Maybe we post it both places, so you have it. All right. So let's do our drawing. And all right, Osvaldo, I know you're listening because you posted in. Since you had the comment of the morning by using this chart to set a goal, you tell me when to draw. I'm waiting on the chat. Osvaldo needs to chat in draw, and when you chat in draw, Osvaldo, I'm drawing. Okay, I'm still mixing here. I'm waiting for Osvaldo to chat in draw. Draw, okay, draw. I got it. And we got Lisa Manchester. All right, Lisa.
Yes.
You get to thank Osvaldo. He just drew you out for the shaker bottle. I know Lisa is wonderfully relentless in helping people start their journey with soul. So she's going to put this to good use. All right, congratulations, Lisa. And congrats, everyone. Thank you for being on today. If you find that this useful and the chart, and you set a goal and you want to share it, text me your goal or email us, okay? Or whatever else that you get to, an application or a learning from the chart, and we'll get more information like this. This was just one piece, by the way, of a training we did. And so hopefully it will be very useful for you. And we'll see you all next week on Monday morning. See you, everybody.